You sit down to do the one thing that actually matters today. You know exactly what it is. And before you start, just for a second, you reach for your phone, just to check, just to clear it out so you can finally focus. You look up and it's 40 minutes later. And here's the strange part. You couldn't tell me one thing you saw. You opened it, you scrolled it, you closed it, and none of it stayed. 40 minutes of your one life, gone through your hands like water. And the thing that mattered is still sitting there, untouched. Maybe it's the book. You read to the bottom of the page and realize your eyes made it down, but your mind never came along. So you go back to the top and read it again. And again. 5 times on the same paragraph. Maybe it's the movie. It slows down for one quiet minute, and your hand is already in your pocket. Not because you decided to reach. Your hand just went. You were bored of the stillness before you even noticed stillness had arrived. Maybe it's the person talking to you right now, while your thumb keeps moving, and you're nodding, and you have no idea what they just said. You're not stupid. You're not lazy. You just can't seem to stay anywhere anymore. You can't sit in a quiet room without reaching for something. You can't finish a thought without checking. And underneath all of it, there's this low restlessness that never fully switches off. So, here's what almost no one admits about your attention. It didn't disappear. It got outbid. And I know that because I lived in that fog for years, rereading, half-watching, never fully anywhere, until I changed one habit. Just one. And within a few days, the noise in my head started to go quiet. Then I changed 3 more. I'm going to give you all 4, easiest to hardest, and I'll tell you which one did most of the work. But first, let's get one thing straight because it changes everything. The scatter you feel is not a defect in you. It's not proof you're broken, or fried, or too far gone. It's the result of a handful of tiny habits you're running without noticing. And that's the good news, because a habit is something you can change. A defect isn't. Think of your attention like the surface of a still pond. When it's calm, it can hold something. It can reflect the sky, show you the bottom, actually take a shape. But every few seconds you toss another pebble in. A scroll, a check, a glance, and the surface never gets still enough to reflect anything at all. So you look down, see only chop, and decide the water is broken. The water is fine. You just never stop throwing. Because every scroll is a rep. You've spent years training your brain to expect something brand new every few seconds. And now anything slower than that feels unbearable. A page, a person, a plan. You didn't lose your focus. You've been spending it a few seconds at a time before you ever sat down to use it. So we're not going to add willpower. We're going to stop paying it out. 4 moves. Here's the first. The first thing you drop is the reflex to fill every empty second. Standing in line, waiting for the kettle. The ad break. That 2-second pause between one thing and the next, and your hand is already moving. You don't even stay bored long enough to call it boredom. You erase the gap before it forms. But that gap isn't dead time. That's the exact moment your attention was about to reset. And you keep interrupting the reset. So next time the empty second shows up, let it stay empty. Don't reach. Just stand there in the nothing for a minute. Say it if you have to. Not now. Let it be boring for a minute. The first time I did it, I was at a crosswalk, hand halfway to my pocket, and I just stopped. Looked at the street. 30 of the longest seconds of my life. And then, something loosened. The itch to fill it faded on its own. One unheld gap. and I could feel my own mind again. Here's the next one, and it's a little bigger. Stop watching two things at once. The show that's on while you scroll. The podcast in one ear while you text with the other hand. The person mid-sentence while your thumb keeps flicking. You think you're getting twice as much. You're getting nothing. No real attention on either one. Split focus isn't double. It's zero, twice. So do one thing at a time all the way through. Watch the show and only the show. Have the conversation and nothing else. Put the phone in the other room, not face down on the table. The other room. And tell yourself, just this. The first night I watched a whole movie with my phone in the kitchen, it felt uncomfortable. Like part of me was missing. I kept reaching for a phone that wasn't there. And then, maybe 20 minutes in, I dropped into the film in a way I hadn't in years. I actually cried at the end. At a movie I would have half watched and forgotten. Doing one thing fully feels foreign for about 10 minutes. Then it feels like relief. Now a bigger one. Stop letting the feed set your speed. Everything on that screen is cut to move. A new image every second. A new voice. A new joke. Swipe, swipe, swipe. And your brain quietly learns that tempo as normal. So when you pick up a book, or listen to someone tell a slow story, or try to sit through anything that unfolds at the pace of real life, it feels wrong. Too slow. Unbearable. That's not you being impatient. That's your baseline speed getting rewritten by the feed. So you reset the clock on purpose. You deliberately do something slow. One physical page, paper, not glass. A walk with no earbuds in. A long article you don't jump out of. 10 minutes, one page, no jumping. I started with 10 minutes of a real book a day. 10. The first week I read the same paragraph 3 times because my eyes kept trying to swipe. By the second week I looked up and 40 real minutes had passed, and I'd been inside the book the whole time. The endless skimming. That's what trained the scatter. The depth is what rebuilds the muscle, and it comes back faster than you'd believe. And here's the deepest one. The last one. The one sitting underneath all the others. Stop outsourcing your boredom. Because if you're honest, the real reason your hand keeps reaching isn't the phone. It's the silence. The unstimulated moment. The version of you that has nothing to look at and nothing to do. You've been running from that person for years. Every time the quiet showed up, you handed it a screen, and then you decided you just can't focus. So let the boredom come back, on purpose. Sit down with nothing on, no screen, no task, no music, no plan, and just be there. 5 minutes. Just here. Let it be uncomfortable. Let your mind wander and get restless and slowly settle. The first time I sat for 5 minutes with nothing, it felt like withdrawal. My skin itched for input. And then, somewhere around minute 3, it went quiet. Not boring. Quiet. And a thought I'd been chasing all week just arrived on its own. In the space I'd finally stopped filling. The stillness you're most afraid of is the exact place your attention has been waiting for you. So, here's the truth nobody tells you about focus. All 4 of those are the same move. Don't fill the gap. Don't split the screen. Now don't chase the pace. Don't flee the quiet. Every one of them is you refusing to spend your attention before you get to use it. Because that's what's been happening this whole time. The feed reaching into your pocket and spending it for you, a few seconds at a time all day, until there's nothing left when you finally need it. Your focus isn't missing. It's rented out. And you don't need a smarter app or an ounce more discipline to get it back. You need to stop voting for a shorter attention span every single time your thumb moves. Same brain, same day, slower intake. Slow the water down, stop the pebbles, and the reflection was there the whole time. So here's what I actually want you to do. Not a detox. Not deleting every app and lasting 3 days and crashing back. Not go touch grass. Those are things you do to your phone. This is something you rebuild in yourself. Pick one. Just one today. One empty second you let stay empty. 1 hour with a single screen. One slow 10 minutes with a real page. 5 minutes of chosen quiet. Just once. And watch what happens in your own head. How fast the noise drops. How quickly the restlessness loosens its grip. Do one move today, and by the end of a month, all 4 are just how you live. And the racing, the rereading, the reaching, the never being anywhere, it stops. You sink into the book. You hear the whole conversation. You sit in a quiet room and it feels like rest instead of a threat. You're present. Actually, finally present. Because concentration isn't something you find. It's something you rebuild. One refused scroll at a time. So pick your one move. Use it today. Then come back and tell me in the comments what changed. I already know something will.